Where are my people at? This is a little high, but it'll be all right. I think we're live. I think we're live. Are we live? Can you see? You guys know I'm not used to going live. Gonna ring the bell. I'd like to burn a little bit of this, please. Are we here? Where are my people at? They coming in? There you are. I see your hearts. I see your hearts. I want to thank everyone who is participating today, and especially everyone here who is helping me to pull this together. Thank you so much for your help. I'm going to burn a little bit of incense. Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to have a great time. We're going to talk a lot about these hot subjects that you all want to hear about. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Which incense am I burning today? Do you see that? Camphor. Yes. So good to see you all. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to have a great session. We're going to talk about African spirituality. And if you are interested in African spirituality, this is going to be your jam. If you have already been practicing, we're going to add to your knowledge. And if you're just curious, then I am going to blow your mind with some information. And of course, when you're learning with me through our website, www.yeyeo.com, you're going to learn even more, because I like to peel the onion. Life is about learning, growing, expanding, and these subjects are definitely going to help to take you and your practice to another level. Thank you so much. I tried out a new thing on my nails. They're kind of cool. Did everyone enjoy last week? I'm going to leave that open-ended and see who kind of reads into the last week. I did a video on how to increase your own self-love and share with others. So if any of you guys watched that, I hope you did. Gave you some ideas on even how to use that to manifest for yourself, right? Manifest in your life. I'm just going to adjust this just a little bit. Does it supposed to go the other way? Do we seem level? Okay. Hello, lovely. How are you? All right, so we're going to give people a few more minutes. Oh my God, it's 11:11. So exciting, 11:11. Oh, we've gone up to 11:16, which is a great, wonderful power numbers, all of you today. So we've got some goodies for you today. I just want to show you a little bit that was set up. They did an excellent job. So I did a video on the 7 African powers before, and that's an older video that I've done. And so in the diaspora, the 7 African powers are really speaking to Orisha. But if you want me to refresh that talk on the 7 African powers, I definitely will, because it's not just Orisha. It is about the different groups that were brought over in the Middle Passage. And so we have Orisha Obatala, father of wisdom, the forming of human character and body. We have here Shango, the lightning god. have Yemonja or Yemaya, the mother goddess, ocean goddess. Here in the diaspora, we have Ogun, deity of iron. We have Elegba or Elegua, known also Eshu, messenger, road opener deity. We have Orunmila, who is the deity that speaks in the Ifa system. We have Oshun, the goddess of intangible pleasure, all the things that we want in life, love, acceptance, all the good things, in addition to beauty and so on. And Yeyeo, wink, wink, is a call name, O Great Mother, is a call name for the goddess Oshun. So today I thought we could really kind of delve in a little bit more. There's so much information out there about Orisha. I mean, the Yoruba tradition is the 10th largest religion in the world, and it is all over. I mean, black, white, green, Asian, doesn't matter where you're from. They're practitioners of all walks of life. And I thought today we could talk a little bit about the Orisha tradition as it exists here in the New World. Traditionally, it's called Isheshe Lagba, and here in the New World, we call it Lukumi and Santeria, right? Santeria was the first term, and then in the community, they're working towards moving away from that term because it's no longer relevant historically in a lot of ways. And so Lukumi is a term that people are using, which also means friend, right? So I'm not going to spend a lot of time breaking down a lot of the contractions of what some of these words mean, because that's really for a bigger session, class, moment. Today, we're going to talk about African spirituality as it pertains to the Ifa Orisha tradition, how it's practiced here in the New World or in the West. What does it look like for us as people who live in this part of the world? What is Orisha? What is Ifa? I saw the other day a video that said, who is Orisha? Well, Orisha is not a person. It goes towards this context of a person, right? And so when we're talking about energy, we're talking about a what, right? Who says thumbs up to the what versus a who? Let's see. Who says thumbs up to a what versus a who? That's right. Forces of nature. And Ifa is the voice of Olodumare. Beautifully said. And so Ifa is the system under the umbrella of the Yoruba tradition. So we're going to break that down, because on this side, I think that a lot of times we think that these are all these different things. You know, I've heard people say, oh, are you Ifa? I'm like, do you mean, do I practice Ifa? Or are you Orisha? Do you mean, do I practice Orisha tradition? Right? So we want to start to really understand a little bit more about what we're saying so that it can become more real to us. It can become more relevant to us, that we can adopt it and bring it into our lives in a way that is understandable. Because a lot of times traditional practices, as we very well know, indigenous practices have become demonized in some respects, whether it be in South America, in Central America, in Africa, in different places where traditional practices are adopted. People who practice earth-based traditions, people who deal with nature, dealing with animals, and so on and so forth, very oftentimes, because it does not fit in a box and not easily palatable by some, it can be thought of that, oh, this is wrong. Well, who made that decision? All right, the sun is here for all of us to enjoy. The moon is here for all of us to enjoy. The rivers are here for all of us to enjoy. So it's about the lens that we choose to look at our practice and what is our intention in our practice that is going to make it right or wrong, if you guys understand what I mean about that. So I just want to give you a quick little tidbit, right? Give you a quick little tidbit. So when I first got introduced to Orisha, my godfather, my elder, who is deceased now, and it's Ibashe. His name is Teddy Holiday. He was a Babalao and a Oluo here in New York. And I had an issue, a business issue, so I went to get a reading. And when I went to get the reading, he said to me, oh, Eshu is so strong with you. And I went, okay. Anybody who wants to help me, if they're strong with me, I'm good with that, right? So he says, oh, you have to do these different things. So I remember that he would tell me these stories, and I'm going to share these tidbits with all of you because I'm sure that I'm not alone with these experiences, and that some of you all too have some experiences that maybe you'll share with us today. So he told me, oh, go and do this work, which is called Ebo, E-B-O, Ebo, which is some kind of sacrifice. What is a sacrifice? Some giving of yourself, your time, your energy, your will, your money, whatever that may be, to enhance a situation. So you now are sharing your time here with me, and I'm sharing my time here with you. We're giving of ourselves. Any giving of yourself is looked at in some respects as a sacrifice, right? I don't know about you guys, but when you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go work out or go to work or do whatever, that's kind of a sacrifice. We could sleep late, right? So how we look at this word is also based on context. So he says, I need you to do a sacrifice to help to make a change with the situation. And again, remember that is E-B-O, Ebo. So if you go for divination from an Orisha priest, and if you want me to do another session, I did a long time ago, and I've done a couple of in-person sessions where we talk about divination tools, please comment so that we can do a whole live just on different kinds of divination tools that are African-based in the Ifa Orisha tradition. What does that look like? How does it work, right? And so this is kind of like a little series because Orisha has asked me to do some of this kind of sharing with all of you. So now he says to me, oh, well, we have to give him an offering. I'm like, okay, so you told me that he's strong with me. Then you said I got to give him an offering to change the situation. I did the work, did what he told me to do. And I was like, well, how do I know if this is going to work? I don't know if this is going to work. And so one of the things that it doesn't matter whether or not it's African spirituality Orisha tradition, you go to church, you're a Buddhist, it doesn't matter what you practice, you need to see proof. Proof. No proof? What's the incentive of doing this again? I don't know about you guys. I'm a prove it chick. What you gonna do? If you said, I need to do this, well, where's the result? And so the result happened magically. I was like, what the heck is going on? Right? Magically, boom, things got resolved. So I said to my godfather at the time, I said, that was really fascinating. That was really fascinating that this whole thing just got resolved. Like it just disappeared, the problem. And he said to me, some things work regardless of whether or not you have faith. And so it's funny, I shared that with someone yesterday about some things work regardless of whether or not you have faith. So I give you an example. If you are a person where you go to the ocean and someone's drowning, they don't know how to swim. You throw in a life, what do they call those things?
Life preserver.
The life preserver. You throw in the life preserver, they grab it, and now they're saved and you pull them in. They didn't need to know how to swim. It still worked. And so that is Orisha power. That is Orisha power. Orisha works regardless of whether or not you believe that they work. If you are into traditional spirituality, if you believe that manifestation is real, it's going to prove itself to you. Why? Because Orisha, I want you guys to remember this because I don't really do these talks that much. I'm very selfish with my Orisha business. Orisha is a part of the universal truth of life. Why? Because they're elemental. The sun is a universal thing. Every day that you get up, you expect the sun to be up. Every day you go to the ocean, you expect it to be moving. Every day you try to breathe, you expect that there's air. Well, Orisha are all of these things. So we're going to get into that a little bit more. Today I'm going to try to keep it tight, but we're going to have like a couple sessions about Orisha because this is my hot subject. And I don't really talk about this in the channel normally when I'm doing the videos. And so now that I've decided to do some lives, I've been told to do some lives. And Orisha's like, now. So today is just a part of a series. So I'm going to pause here for a minute. I'm going to see how you guys are doing. Let me check in with you because I've been chatting you up. Let me see what you guys have to say while we're on this little quick. Me too. This is another hat. Let me tell you, look at this. This guy just was like, he texts me. He's like, your hat's are ready. I'm like, yes, another try. Oh my God. He and I are like, we're just having such a ball with making these hats. Thank you very much. Look at this hat. You could come like this. You could come like this. I want to give him some fever with these hats. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that compliment. Okay. So now I want to give you I'm going to answer that question for you. Let me fix my head a little bit. Because you guys know I get all excited when I get with you. It's like when people come into the store, they're like, let me. I'm like, yes, honey. Let's give it to them. So someone asked a question that I'm going to answer before we go in. But, I wanted to check in with you guys because I'm just chit-chatting it up. It says, I was told, is this person's name here? Oh, Lady Love. I'm going to answer your question. I was told I can't pay respect to Orisha if I'm not initiated. That is, okay, I can't say that right now, but that is a BS thing. That is absolute trash. Do not believe any of that. Now, there's some things you're not able to do. Why? Because you don't have the license, the mandate to do it, right? So here's an example. I like to give real world examples because sometimes people give you all of this highfalutin stuff and you're like, what? I don't understand. So, what's a good example? Kid, 14 years old. He went online. I'm going to figure out how to drive. You went and looked it up, got the manual, looked at videos. They say you get in the car, make sure you look in the rear view mirror, you do this, you do that, whatever. Gets in the car and starts driving. Person's driving. But then what happens? Bam, car accident. Or he gets pulled over. You don't have a license. That means you're not supposed to be driving, period. Just because you can doesn't mean you're going to get the fullest benefit. And so this is why people go through ordination, initiation, to get the license so that Orisha goes, oh, you asked me for this? Well, let me tell you all the things that you need to give me. You need to give me these 4 things so that I will manifest for you. If you do not have the license, you're only going to get but so much out of the experience. Period. I love that line. Let me tell you, when I heard that line, I was like, this is it right here. I love that line. You're just not. Why? Because a person is trying to go into a world that they have not been taken through that door. The door is called initiation. The door is called license. So just like going to DMV, go take the test, go do this, go do that, that's how you're able to get the fullest benefit of a driver's license. It's the same thing. Except that initiation is one of the most transformative things that you could ever do in your life. This is why when people, they go through these different rites, if you're a Mason, if you're in some kind of fraternal order, in college, sometimes people go through fraternities, sororities, all these different things. Why? Because, yeah, you could go to their parties, but you're not going to find out what's really going on in the back unless you get in this club. That's how it is. So can this person pay homage and respect to Orisha? Absolutely. Go to the ocean. Go take an offering. Go to the river. Go to the mountain. So if you haven't seen, I did a video. Was that a video or live? It was a live. I talked about Orisha being in the body. And I explained to all of you the different parts of the body where the Orisha sits. Please go through our playlist in our channel and watch that, because you're going to see that Orisha's already in your body, not outside of you. What do we do? Everyone who's on this live right now, I want you to take a very deep breath, feel the air going through your nostrils, feeling it filling your lungs, letting it out. I want everybody to do that right now. That is the Orisha Oya. Hello. They're not ready for me, honey. This is why I don't come on YouTube and do these sessions, because I'm like, they're going to be like, this chick is out of hand. Yes, I am. That's the Orisha Oya. So of course you can come to the Orisha. Of course you can be with them. They're already in your body. They're everywhere around you. So this diaspora does not look at Orisha being separate from us. We are in the program and training that they're separate from us. But the full embodiment of their power, The full embodiment of their power only comes through ordination. Okay? Let me see if I lost any of you guys yet. They're like, this lady, let me stay on here before I'm not getting off right now because she be talking about some kind of stuff. You guys okay with me? You guys okay with me? Am I going too far for you? Let me see before, because if not, we're going to slow it down and I'm only going to give you guys this stuff privately. Ashe, can you have an ancestor table and an Orisha shrine in the same room? Yes, not on the same table. Oh man, that one's going by very quickly. See you guys later. Bye. Nice to see you. Can watch it in the replay. So, as I said before, Orisha tradition, they have Isheshe Lagba, which is in Nigeria and practiced here in the New World. There is Lukumi, which is Santeria without the saints. And so the thing that made me stay in this faith, believe it or not, my elder, Iba, my godmother, she had a book on her shelf. And this is an author redid this book because it became out of print. Awofa Lokun Fatumbi rewrote this book in his own way, or used the same title for his book, called Iwa Pele, Iwapele. Iwa Pele. And when I read that book, I said, I want to be here with these people about this, because Iwa Pele talks about the real foundation of the Yoruba faith in what we practice. Thank you very much. In what we practice in this tradition and its embodiment of how people are supposed to carry themselves. And so Iwa Pele talks about, I greet the earth. There is balance in character. There's balance in character. People having good character and people have deficiencies in their character. I don't like to use the word bad. It talks about the masculine and the feminine. These are the foundations of the Yoruba practice. Having character that you can stand up. They say good character to make it easy because it can be a very complicated term to explain. It's based on respect, character, honoring the ancestors, and destiny. Respect, character, honoring the ancestors, and destiny. So nowhere in there, I hear it says, don't do this, don't do that, you're good, you're bad. Those things don't exist in the way that we think about it for the Yoruba people. And so one of the things that I just blew my mind and I really took pause with it, and I want to share it with you, is when I was in Nigeria, I really kind of wanted to understand more about how does Nigerians look at this faith. And the thing that I learned is that everywhere outside of Yoruba land, which is where the faith comes from, the Yoruba people, for them, and this is cultural. This is their culture. And so practicing these traditions is cultural to them. This is just a way of doing things, a way of looking at the world, a way of looking at life. But on this side of the world, and for those of us who don't live there, This is religion. This is spirituality, right? And so I thought, wow, this is fascinating to me. Because when I went, I saw all these people practicing Ifa. Young, old, they were Christians, Muslims, Baptists, all kinds of people. And I was like, this is wild. And so I asked one of the people that was helping to kind of help us with all different personal things. He said, we all practice this. But to get certain permission, license, then we get initiated. But here, it's religion. So I want to share with you that these traditions are culture, lifestyle together, because for us, we don't turn off being an Ifa priest. We don't turn off being an Orisha priest. This is who we are. We look at the world through this lens. Orisha's going to help us. Our ancestors are going to help us. We got a problem. They're going to open the way. They're going to make sure that you have money, stability, health, goodness, love, family. They're going to take care of you. This is what we believe. So this is a good thing for you to take in, those of you who are actually seriously interested in these faiths, that these are a lifestyle. This is not something you turn on and off. And that this availability, this kind of thing is available to all of you, to everyone. And remember, I said that Orisha is elemental. So I'm going to go into a little bit about this elemental aspect for you. These traditions have parables, where they're stories that tell you about this happened to this Orisha, this story happened with Oshun, her color became yellow because she didn't have a lot of money, so she washed her whites so much they became yellow. There's certain paths of Oshun that don't take yellow, all of these different things. Some are deities and some are deified human beings that have been integrated into the deity category. And so if you go to Africa, we see that there's, let's say in the diaspora, we glorify or we venerate, let's say just a random number, 16 Orisha. But if you go there may be 400. So this idea of a deity was never a person, or a person that became deified, like the Orisha Shango, who was a king in Nigeria of Oyo, a city Oyo. So let's do the quick and dirty on a few of the Orishas. So there's the word Alegba. And again, when you take my trainings through our website, I'll break down what do these words really mean? Who are these deities? And so on and so forth. But because we're on a live, we're limited on time. And I hope you guys are just so interested in this subject. I'm going to try to keep it very condensed. So Alegba, wait, that came up. Let's see if that's something to read. Okay. So Alegba, Elegba, Eshu, Esu, and in Spanish they say Elegua, are part of the same corpus of energy. So again, there could be a whole session just only on him. So I don't want to spend too much time only talking about him because I want to give you a little bit about the others. Who is he? The messenger. The one that helps you to make decisions. Some people say, oh, Elegwa's a trickster. Well, is he really a trickster? Or is he that he gives you decisions and you're not quite sure which one to take? He's thought of as the divine messenger, right? Then we have Ogun, the spirit of iron, the Orisha of breakthrough, who is a part of the warrior group. right? And Ogun says, decision or tragedy, right? Make a decision. If not, it's not going to be good. So not making a decision is making a decision. He is the Orisha of iron. Came to earth with 2 machetes, and he's the one that you go to wreck stuff and ask questions later. Then we have Ochosi, who is a part of the warrior group. Again, I did a video on the warriors. You can see that in our channel, in our Orisha playlist. And he is the tracker, the hunter, the one who tracks down your opportunities, looks for things that you need, the mastermind to think of how to help you to get to the next level in life, right? And so sometimes we see him embodied with the bow and arrow here in the diaspora. And so much of the information that I'm going to give is about how you will find information about these Orishas within the diaspora and not totally in Isheshe Lagba. Then we have Oshun. As I said earlier, she is the spirit of the river. She's thought of as a source of life. She is the tangible but more intangible things of life that we love, right? Sweet as honey. Life is so sweet. Life is so good. Of beauty, of love, of the arts, all of these things that just kind of thrill us in life. Then we have Yemonja, right? Or Yemaya, mother of fish. She is the ocean. She is vast with abundance, goodness, her colors blue, and so on. I mean, we could be here all day talking about the Orishas, but I want to give you some information that may be a little bit harder to understand, separate from the things that you can normally find in books, right? Everyone loves Oshun. I love Oshun. I've been a priestess of Oshun for a very long time. So then we have Shango, right? Fire. He's fiery. He has his double axe. He's an Orisha about courage and entitlement and bravado and all of these things. He is like the ego, right? He's about self-indulgence, all of these different things. So all of these traits can be looked at as good or, depending on how you play it, maybe not so good, right? But Orisha is here and Orisha is light. Did you hear that? Orisha is light, period. There's nothing else. Our intentions is how Orisha manifests in our life. And Oya, we talked about Oya. The breath, she's connected to the ancestors, the female warrior, the Orisha of transformation, right? And so on. But before I close this part, I wanted to share with you that sometimes people come to these faiths and they get distracted with Orisha and forget that there is a source. Olodumare, the creator, the source that Orisha funnels down from, that there's only one God in the Orisha tradition, and Orisha, as in the individual Orishas, Oshun, Yemonja, Shango, so on and so forth, are under the umbrella, who is there to do the work of Olodumare, because it is thought of that he is so high that it is hard for humans to access him, so he gives us Orisha to go to them directly to help us in our human life. So I just want to say that you can find information all over. I'm not here to say that any information is better than the other. I'm here to give you my take. Why? Because Orisha told me, give them their take, give them your take. And I was like, well, there's a lot of information out there. They're like, we don't care. We want you to say it. So I've shared a little bit with you, and this is only part 1. And if there's any subjects that you all want me to cover, definitely want to hear that. But I want to, oh boy, there's a lot of questions. So we're going to stop for a minute and answer a few of your questions. So I hope that this was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you thought that this was a really good live, because I need a little bit of encouragement. Puerto Rico! Oh boy, this is a heavy question. All right, we got a couple thumbs up. All right, that's great. Forces of nature, I needed this. Thank you so much. If one person got something out of this entire live, then it was time well spent. So we have a question from Christine. When making a deal with Orisha or Loa, are you spiritually tied to the deity forever? Well, you're not tied to the deity at all, right? That's like you finding a friend and be like, yo, I need to make a deal with you. I need to go to Vegas. I need you to drive. I'm going to pay for the hotel and pay for everything. I just need you to drive me to Vegas. There's no lifetime bond there. Now, if you make a deal and you don't come through with the deal, then that's a different conversation. But there is no tie that I'm aware of unless you have appealed and appealed and appealed. I give you an example. I know someone who kept appealing to the Orisha for a child. Oh my gosh. So the person got the child. And the Orisha said, well, excuse me, you got a debt. Like, you came and asked, I gave you. Now, what did you give me? In the Orisha tradition, like any tradition, you put in, you get out. In a love relationship, you put in, you get out. So if someone is just putting, oh, gimme, and they're not doing a bow, remember we talked about that in the beginning, making sacrifice for what they got, remember what we talked about in the beginning, then of course you're going to have a debt. Because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. But in terms of, oh, is there something dragging me, pulling me for the rest of my life? No, there isn't. Okay, so is this a good one to do now? Okay. Okay, that one, no, we can research that one. Can more than one Orisha call you? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a yes. So what do they mean? I understand what they mean, but I want more clarification of the closed.
You might have to ask them to put details in there because
well, we're limited on time. So there's a question here that asks, are these closed traditions? So I want whoever asked that question to explain a little bit about what closed means. Okay, these are research questions that they can find on the internet.
They're asking more about the book, the cover, the name, and why. More questions about why you picked the book, the author.
Asking to see the book again. Okay, so this book, excuse me, the original one is out of print. This particular Babalao, Awo Falokun Fatumbi, I really like. I like a lot of his material. It's very easy to understand and palette. So he's getting a free plug from me today. Can you take a picture of this? Thank you. Thank you. I want to send it to him. Okay, so
And other questions about finding out their guardian Orishas.
I'm going to answer maybe two more. Okay, did you guys see this? I hesitate to initiate because I question, am I ready to commit? Well, I want to just say this. When people talk about initiation, And I really love that comment about hesitating to initiate and so on. One, you have free will to do whatever you want. But I will tell you this, you're not committing to the deity. You're committing to yourself for the deity to help you, right? You're not committing to the deity. I'm going to say it again. You're committing to yourself, your life, your well-being, your ancestors, for that deity to help you to achieve that goal. And so a lot of times people, oh, they're going to tell me I can't do this and I can't do that. But what are all the other things that they're telling you can do? What are all the blessings that they're bringing to your life? Again, this conversation is very specifically about people who are interested in indigenous African practices. If you're not interested in that, then this doesn't apply. But if you go get baptized in a church, and then now you're a part of a church community, and there are expectations of you who have been baptized in the church, you're not committing to the church per se. You're first committing to yourself. So please keep that in mind. I hope that was helpful. That's it, right?
That's it. Yeah.
So let me just read one or two things before I close. What was that one about if the Orisha asked for an offering?
When Orisha asks for an offering, does it mean it should be done often or once?
If they asked you once in a reading, then it's once.
And then she says, "What's the initial step to initiation?"
That's a whole different class, right? A whole different session. Steps to initiation are based on you. There's certain things that are supposed to happen, but it's also based on your reading and what you were told. Some people are fast track, some people are slow, some people wait too long. That's a whole nother conversation. But at the end of the day, there's some basic things that should happen in the tradition. No one gets initiated without warriors. Hello, no one gets initiated without warriors. So if you're someone out there who got initiated in the diaspora without warriors, well, so I hope that today's talk was so helpful. I'd like to do more on Orisha. And if there's some good subjects that you have that are very specific about Orisha, then I'll do some more. But we're really kind of getting into it. And I hope that these talks you feel have been time well spent, that you learned something. And, all of you, I like to talk about things that people aren't talking about, because I'm an advanced practitioner and the people that I work with are more advanced and definitely about transforming your life. Thank you so much for sharing your time. It was great to see you all. Ring my bell. And see you soon. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oop, bye.